Imagine this, it's 2030, Elon Musk is the world's first trillionaire, robots will be a part of everyday life, and Avengers 5 and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic are not the most anticipated films of the year, but it's a Tom Cruise led, Christopher Nolan directed film. Now all this to say, I think this would be one of the absolute craziest things that happened in modern cinema. Of course we had huge blockbusters in the MCU and Infinity War and Endgame, the Harry Potter series, we also had many new auteurs come of the modern era, but it's just purely on the fact that Nolan being the director he is, from being an indie filmmaker to an Oscar winning blockbuster one, and Cruise being the most popular name in acting worldwide for over 4 decades, while proving that he's more than just a movie star. He's a cinematic force.
I love my popcorn.
Let's explore the idea of this blockbuster collaboration that could redefine the very fabric of cinema that promises not just entertainment, but an unparalleled, box office dominant, cinematic experience.
It's not possible. No, it's necessary.
Okay, this is just purely a theory, but my first inclination of this came as I saw Tom Cruise officially sign a deal with Warner Brothers in January 2024 to develop and produce original and franchise films. Cruise and Nolan both have had a history with this iconic studio. Tom Cruise's first breakout role was in Risky Business, made by Warner Brothers. And some other known films he starred in were 2014's Edge of Tomorrow, and the great Stanley Kubrick's last film, yes, that weird cult classic, Eyes Wide Shut. But as of late, Cruise has been in ties with Paramount, with the Mission Impossible and Top Gun franchises, and also has his own production company. Not to mention, Paramount could be acquired or merged soon with another entertainment giant. Maybe another reason why he signed this deal. Now with Nolan, before Oppenheimer, he had been a trophy for Warner Brothers, working with them for over 19 years, with cinematic achievements in the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and Dunkirk.
He arrived at Warner Brothers early, on the strength of his first 2 independent films.
I was able to get involved with Warner Brothers on my 3rd film, Insomnia. It was a big step up for me to enter into the arena of studio filmmaking.
But there was a fallout during 2020 and 2021 where Warner Brothers tried to drive the focus of their movie release strategy to be more favorable towards their own streaming service, HBO Max, which Nolan didn't take so kindly and left to produce Oppenheimer with Universal.
Yeah, it's sort of not how you treat filmmakers and stars and people who, you know, these guys have given a lot for these projects, and they deserved to be consulted and spoken to about what was going to happen to their work.
However, since then, the Warner Brother film heads at the time have left, and Nolan has been open to working with Warner Brothers again, even with the re-release of his latest Warner Brothers produced film, Tenet, just ahead of their biggest release of 2024, Dune Part 2. The talks of reuniting this couple are heating up, and we could be hearing some official news for Nolan's next film really soon, as there is no official word on any studio backing it. I mean, if you've been following my channel, you know Christopher Nolan is my favorite director, and I'll see anything he puts out, but he really is one of the very few names in Hollywood that has the power to dictate everything going on in the production. The mainstream movies made today, I feel, are very much made by committee, where execs and the higher-ups are governing every moving part of the film. Nolan's films are not just movies, they're experiences, they're events.
Okay, all at once, all at once!
His ability to blend spectacle with profound storytelling is unmatched. And with Cruise, what can I not say? He's honestly the last true movie star, especially surrounding the action genre. I really enjoyed his films as of late. Top Gun Maverick is going to be a certified classic in my eyes, and I've enjoyed watching him play Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible films that he's been doing for over 20 years now. By the way, 2011's Ghost Protocol is by far my favorite. Showing Dubai and other parts of the world, it just had some of the best shots and stunts I've seen in that decade. His dedication to performing his own stunts and his ability to inhabit diverse characters make him the perfect leading man for any genre. Now with Warner Brothers behind them, do Nolan and Cruise even want this to happen? We have seen both support each other over the years. There was a hiccup in the summer of 2023 where the Barbenheimer phenomenon took over Hollywood and the box office, which overshadowed Cruise's Dead Reckoning Part 1, which released a week or two before, with limited IMAX showings after. Although audiences that watched Mission Impossible enjoyed it, as did I, it had little legwork following its opening weekend, grossing only a little over $550 million at the box office. I mean, really, I could see this unison happen purely for the art of cinema itself, and how they strive to bring people together through the medium.
Like reading a book, but you also have this empathetic response that you share with the rest of the audience.
Yeah.
And that's what makes film unique. There's no other form. The theater doesn't have that because it has it has the audience, but it doesn't have that same intense subjectivity of narrative information coming across. And so cinema combines both those things.
I truly believe these two share the same passion, with also the same monetary incentives as well. Not gonna lie, in theory, this film would be hefty for its budget, bringing both a peak of acting and directing on the same stage. But the mission is not impossible. Now the story. Tom Cruise's Bond, Nolan directing a Mission Impossible 8, a completely original heavy drama. The ideas are endless. I'm pretty sure no one would mind what story they would make. Everyone would just flood to the box office.
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
All that to say, these two are low-key getting up there in age. Tom Cruise is already 61 and Nolan is nearly the same, so there's not much time to waste on these guys' careers. Like, what would be the perfect mix of the two? Take a character like Maverick in Top Gun, has to go on a mission exploring uncharted realms of the universe, or a psychological thriller where Cruise delves into the complexities of the human mind. This could be the last blockbuster swing for them both. I mean, my favorite film from Cruise was 1992's A Few Good Men. Though he didn't have the best performance, Jack Nicholson did.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You?
He really does his best in riveting dramas. And with action films, I think these two have a fair share of hits. Mission Impossible is the epitome of action, and Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy have great pieces of action in them. They can balance each other out if they see fit. Nolan doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to action though. Some people think his action in his films are too bland, and the choreography you can see through a blind eye. But I feel Tom Cruise and his entire mantra surrounding the genre and the art can take the film to another level, if it is an action film they would make. And then people say that Cruise's acting chops have declined since his glory days in the 80s and 90s in peak Best Picture films, and even being nominated at the Oscars.
We almost finish each other's sentences, kind of.
I mean, I don't think we've ever finished each other's sentences.
But Nolan can definitely redeem those qualities with screenplays that engross his characters to another level. Case in point, Robert Downey Jr. Going from a fan favorite Iron Man,
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist,
to one of the best performances of the decade in Louis Strauss.
He'd do it all over. Why? Because it made him the most important man who ever lived.
The idea of a film starring Tom Cruise and Christopher Nolan is not just a dream for cinephiles, it's a necessity for the evolution of modern cinema. Their collaboration has the potential to redefine genres, shatter box office records, and create a cinematic masterpiece that stands the test of time. So Warner Brothers, if you are listening to this, make this happen. We're ready for the Cruise-Nolan cinematic experience. That's my little film essay or movie essay, whatever you want to call it, about like what I want to see in terms of collaborations. And I mean, people just wanted this to happen. These are the two biggest names in Hollywood, in my opinion, in their respective positions, right? So I just want to see this happen. Please feel free to discuss in the comments if you want this to happen, if there's like too much of a big ask for these two to collaborate. But I mean, is there some other collaborations, actors to directors or actors to actors, you want to see happen? I mean, off the top, I do want to see Leonardo DiCaprio again with Nolan, but he already did that with Inception, right? So that's already checked off the list. And you have Tarantino and his crew of actors. But yeah, let me know what other collaborations you want to see. Maybe I can make a film about something else I want to see that someone mentions and piques my mind. But yeah, we are ready for Nolan to win that Oscar, so please check out that video if you want, why he's 100% winning. I did a little essay on that, and people actually enjoyed that video, which is surprising, but hopefully you enjoyed this one too. But yeah, if you guys want to check out my other content, please feel free to, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, have a good one.